Upon communicating with my unsigned artist, we spoke via text messages because he lived long distances. But he lived in London and I lived in Bromley. So then we had to talk through text message, so otherwise it would be time consuming. The unsigned artist led the conversation because it was because I needed to hear about his image, what he wanted to sell, and he also told me what the song was about, so that me and him could enable our creative ideas to flow, and we both had complete control. I had complete control over it, so then we were able to. Alright. This allowed me and my client to discuss our creative ideas. And in the end, both of us were in agreement. Like, seeing as how we had boundaries, that enabled us to be fully creative because we got a deadline to work towards so that we can finalize our creative ideas. Otherwise, we would have had to end up going over it until the deadline, but there would be no deadline. So it would be rubbish. So it was important to have a deadline so that we can come with our creative ideas, so that we could be in agreement and finalize. But the disadvantage would be that if we had any regrets during the production of this music video, it would be too late because it's already out there.
Okay, so I'm going to be discussing about the legal issues that we had to face during the music video production, which is one of them which was copyright. Probably the main reason for this is because we had to get permission from Johnny Hutchison, who was our unsigned artist, to use the track. But if you have to compare it for the media industry, or music industry, more rather, we would have to pay for clearance, and also getting permission to use these locations was also vital. Otherwise, we would have got into trouble.
Okay, I'm going to be talking about the managing the public when we were shooting the music video. So we shot in a very busy location. So we shot, we shot at South Bank and near Charing Cross, so Covent Garden. So we shot in very busy locations full of people going to and from work. So it was always busy around us. So we had to make sure we had to tell people not to be concerned that we had permission to film there, because we did have a few people quite interested and wondering what we were doing and why we were doing it. So we had to tell them that we had permission to film there and show them the proof from the email that we sent, so that didn't. So they were no longer unsettled. So we just had to deal with that, and also the busy crowds that kept coming along. We kind of had to sort of go around that because there were so many people, we couldn't really control all of them. So we had to kind of work around them.
Alright, moving on to the regulatory issues regarding all the stuff that we need to consider before shooting a music video. First thing was the locations, that we needed permission to shoot on the locations that we chose. But in order to do that, we had to have a recce, and we needed to get permission from the film office, depending on the borough of the area we were working in. So we contacted the South Bank Film Office, and we got a permit allowing us to film in South Bank. Next up was getting our actor to be in these music videos. Only music video. Thing is that we had to conduct a release form and he needed to sign it in agreement that me and him, that he was okay with doing the music video. And also we had to conduct a risk assessment, which would allow us to outline the risks, which there would be hazardous to our health, like robbers, and we need to have public liability insurance in case people were going to be injured.
So our budget included things for transport and food. The transport was £1.50 for each journey on the train. So each person, that would be £9 for there and back. Altogether that was £36 for 4 of us. For our food, we went to Pizza Express, and that was £30 for the whole meal.
One of the opportunities that we came across was learning new skills. Like, for example, back then last year, we shot cameras with tripods when we were doing the short film brief. But now this year, we shot our music video without a tripod, and it allowed us to adapt to the style of the song in music for the music video, so it could be more dynamic and more articulate, and it will do a better job in selling the artist's image. Also, in the editing process, we also learned how to multi-clip, and we were able to, and upon multi-clipping, it was so much easier to cut to the beat every time there was a beat in the song. Yeah, during the music video production process, we also learned about the green screen, chroma keying, and
so to manage our time effectively, we filmed our whole video in the space of 3 days, split in because we had 2 different locations, so one location one day, the other location a different day. When it came to editing, we split the shots of the beginning, middle and the end between each person, so they did a section each and then put it all together as one. A skill that we did through our group was communication, so we communicate with each other in order to get the work done and knowing like what bit was done correctly.
Okay, I'm going to be talking about the managing the public when we were shooting the music video. So we shot in a very busy location. So we shot, we shot at South Bank and near Charing Cross, so Covent Garden. So we shot in very busy locations full of people going to and from work. So it was always busy around us. So we had to make sure we had to tell people not to be concerned that we had permission to film there, because we did have a few people quite interested in and wondering what we were doing and why we were doing it. So we had to tell them that we had permission to film there and show them the proof from the email that we sent, so so they were no longer unsettled. So we just had to deal with that, and also the busy crowds that kept coming along. We kind of had to sort of go around that because there were so many people, we couldn't really control all of them, so we had to kind of work around them.
Hi. Me as the director, I've contributed to project briefing, picking out the locations, forming the creative idea with my client, and been there to direct during the production process.
I was the producer for the music video. I did the risk assessment, so I went to different locations to find out the risks, and also me and Rosie worked on the section of technical and the production side of crew, and we talked about in detail which job we were doing exactly.
I was the director of photography, so in the pre-production stages I was in charge of doing the storyboarding and the shot list with the director also present, and also the animatic, which was done with me and Rosie.
I was the assistant director, so I was just helping on the site when filming, helping with the camera setup, also helping with the responsibilities and also helping with the animatic.